Kgabo.
No, thank you very much, Chairperson. Let me firstly start by pleading with your good self that I would request that you should not stop me in the process or be tempted to disrupt me. That is my plea to you as the Chairperson.
No,
I'm pleading up front.
Today I won't do it. Thanks.
Thank you. Chairperson, let me start, like I said, Nalina laka ke khaolatle minister sefane se tsele khaba se se fetoge. Le nna ke batla go pega thaba ka ono kwa tlhotsa a o tlhotsa ka feletsa o nkwetse. Ke ne ke re tla ke tsumole pele go appreciate the minister's consideration. You know, if you are a government elected by the people. You represent the people, and in the process of representing them, you must listen to the people. I appreciate your consideration of the public views. Whether to others, they might exploit it for political purpose or not, the fact that you have demonstrated leadership in listening to the people that you are leading, that is appreciated. In fact, the appreciation is not only about listening, but also demonstrating in action that you are willing to learn from the people as much as they must learn from you. We appreciate that withdrawal, Honorable Minister. Let me get to the point I want to raise, and I would want you to understand this thing and clarify this thing of power so that we are not found in a power struggle unnecessarily. We are all members of we are all members of parliament according to the constitution of this country. We have delegated the powers of presiding over the affairs of this country to the president of the country. Our powers as members of parliament. He ultimately delegated those powers to the ministers. In practical terms, both the president and the minister, they are having borrowed powers of parliament. So both the ministers, including deputy ministers and the president, they account to parliament. So when we apply accountability in this context, this is the relevant platform for the minister to account. And when we are holding the minister accountable, it will be in line with the principles of accountability that takes place within the public sector, and also considering issues that you had raised in relation to the King 5 governance report. Now, in this instance, Chair, I wanted to reflect the issue of accountability so that in the process the minister understands that she's here to account on the basis of the powers that were delegated to her. And many scholars previously have tried to interpret this thing of accountability as to what does it mean. But in a nutshell, from where I'm sitting, it's basically taking full responsibility of your actions. Now, in the context of public sector, it means that now that we have given you the responsibility as a minister through the president to oversee the smooth running of the Department of Higher Education, including the correct spending of the budget allocated to the department, it is for that reason that you must account, because that is the funds of the public. And your actions, as and when they are taken, it must be taken in line with the powers that are vested in you as the minister. So I thought I must indicate this thing that public sector is governed by certain principles. And one of those principles is the fact that we've got Batopele principles, and one of it deals with transparency, and would obviously hold the minister accountable in line with those principles of Batopele, including those principles that guides the public sector of South Africa. Let me go to the issue of boards, Chair. This chairperson's boards. Minister, let me start with this panel that is seen to be treated as a private entity within the public sector. I know the powers that you have as a minister, like I indicated, the borrowed powers. You appointed the panel. I would want to understand with you which process have you followed to appoint the panel, Honorable Minister?
Thank you so much, Honorable Kgabo, and thank you for your preamble in trying to maybe empower us to understand the accountability as the public representatives. The criteria that one has used is to get people who are senior in the sector, professionals who have been around in the sector with a reputation, because what is important is reputation. People who are guided by good governance principles, people who have no public negative publicity, and the people who have vast experience in the post-school education and training. Those are the principles that the minister applied in trying to get this cohort of senior professionals to oversee the process of appointing the chairs. Because with the AAs, it's a submission from sectors.
Thanks, Minister. If I raise my hand, I don't want to be disruptive. You must know that I'm saying I'm fine. In terms of the process, were they handpicked or was there a transparent process of appointing them?
It's the discretion of the minister to actually identify those people. There was no interviews, there was no, just a discretion to say, I believe Kgabo can actually add value in this process. Then I just write a letter to that follow the due processes to check whether the person is available to serve the nation on voluntary basis. Then that's how the process goes. Thank you.
Thanks, Honorable Minister. Again, when I give you indication, so we can safely say that you have handpicked them based on your powers that you have as a minister.
Not sure about the word handpicked. I have applied my mind to look for credible individuals that are going to form part of this independent panel that is going to assist us in identifying and appointing people that are going to assist me in applying my vision of turning around the post-school education and training, and also in terms of the MTDP, to apply or to make into action the three key priorities of government.
No, thank you very much. Maybe it's the interpretation of whether handpicked or discretion. At the end of the day, the minister has used her powers to appoint these people. Honorable Minister, I want to check with you, were these people subjected to any vetting after appointment as an independent panel?
You did not hear the question.
I can repeat it, Honorable Minister.
No, you see, DG, you did not, the minister can hear the question. And we've just spoken about this. Please, the question has been raised to the minister. Again, you are chit-chatting. The minister did not hear the question. Please, Honorable Kgabo, hold on, Honorable Kgabo.
On a point of order, Chairperson.
To me.
On DG.
Oh.
When we asked DG questions, even specifically to myself, he said, Yana, he knows nothing about this whole process. He says he doesn't know anything until he was told who these people who were appointed are. So I fail to understand how at every question that is available in the sitting, the DG is whispering to give advice to the minister on something he knows fuck all about.
Yeah, the DG is out of order, but we don't know what he's probably telling the minister that he's hungry because he doesn't know about the process. So, I did say, I did say the DG is distracting the minister there. Honorable Kgabo.
No, thank you very much, Chairperson.
I am, hold on, let the house come down. Let the house come down. Honorable Kgabo, you are repeating the question.
Honorable Minister, after you had used your discretion or handpicked people that you appointed in the independent panel, were the very same panel subjected to a vetting process to verify their independence?
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, there was no vetting on their side. But I applied my mind to make sure that I bring on board people that are not questionable, people who are not going to make sure that they produce what is expected by the people of South Africa as well as by the government of the 7th administration.
Not a problem, Honorable Minister. So, based on your response, you are confirming that these people who have been identified to form part of the panel that is deemed to be independent, there is nothing that was used to verify their level of independence or dependence. Rather, we had relied on your discretion as the minister and with powers vested in, I'm not questioning your powers, Minister, I appreciate it. These people were not subjected to any vetting. Vetting meaning that whether we have verified their qualifications, their skills and expertise, whether these people, they've got any criminal record, whether these people, there is a problem of corruption in the country now. Whether these people, they do not have a history of putting their hands in the cookie jar. That's what I want to check with you, Honorable Minister.
The screening was done. What you are talking about is screening, but there was no vetting.
All right, I take note of the fact that there was no vetting on people who must appoint board chairpersons that must oversee institutions or entities that are worth more than billions. That one I take note. Honorable Minister, the withdrawal of the appointments of board chairperson has both financial and legal implications. Did the board chairs that you were appointed previously, were they presented, the ones that you had withdrawn? I agree they are no longer there. No, you are not a mola to a motu shuling, stopu kisera sebona. I want to check with you, Honorable Minister. Now that I've said that they've got both financial and legal implication, let me speak to the legal aspect. Were these chairs given or given an offer as the usual process to accept being appointed as chairs of SETAs?
Chair, they were given offer, but there was a provision on the letter to say they must respond in writing in 2 days, whether they accept or decline. And then between that period, before we could receive their indication, then there was a withdrawal.
Okay, it's not a problem. Did they submit their acceptance of the offer in writing, all of them? You see, now the DG is no longer here, there's another problem. You'll get your chance, Mhlegas. I'm going to attend to you decisively for that matter. Let's allow us to interact with the minister.
Yes, they did submit their emails through the chief director responsible for SETA coordination to confirm those who are available.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. I want to give you a scenario. When a municipal manager is appointed or a director at the level of a municipality, they give him an offer to be appointed in that particular position. And that offer, to a large extent, sometimes indicates what would be the benefits. Others would even indicate the salary packages. I would want to check in this instance, is there any financial implication? Because obviously, for an example, once you have appointed me, like I said, you are a municipal manager, you are appointed for a period of 5 years. Once I receive the offer and I accept it, it then means that there is a financial obligation that you must meet from your side as the person who has given me an offer. We are not longer entertaining whether you were appointed right or wrong. No, Yana, we are just preparing for a tombstone for that matter. That one is dead. We are dealing with this one now.
So there are no financial or legal implications. And with the appointments of boards, there is no salary package that is put as part of like public service where there is a conditions of employment to say this is a salary package that you are going to get. they only claim by attending a meeting. But as soon as the board would have said, we're going to write to the Minister of Finance for concurrence, like what we did with the NSFAS, so that determination is then made to say the sitting is going to be this amount, and the meetings must be either 4 quarterly, once a quarter, which is 4 meetings per year. But to be honest, there are no financial implications. The appointment doesn't even come out with salary package or anything.
Thank you very much for the clarity, Honorable Minister. And let me go back to this panel. You know, this panel has powers to both build in this country and disrupting the plans of this country, given the process. Honorable Minister, I think one thing that you need to accept in this meeting, and there's nothing wrong, part of leadership is taking full responsibility of actions that you had, of your decisions. And whether the process has unfolded accordingly or not, now we are dealing with a process whereby we are reopening, we have reopened for nominations. And when we reopen for nomination, it basically means that, Honorable Minister, there was something wrong. That's why there was a public outcry. And I'm going to again plead with your conscience, Honorable Minister. It takes nothing from you. It has nothing to do with your standing or political credentials. For those who know you, they know you. But we must not allow people or honorable members to create an impression that you are a minister who's insensitive, who's so arrogant, who's full of herself, who will not even accept when the process to a large extent proves that it is not handled properly. I would like to plead with you that at some point you must accept that the process was not handled properly. And that is part of the responsibility of taking leadership. Because if there were things, everything that had went well, it means that we'll still be having those boards. So I will not want to enter into the nitty-gritties as to what has happened. Your report in terms of your withdrawal letter, I think it is paragraph number 5. It says that I will also establish a new independent panel to process nominations. I would want to understand from where you are sitting, are you basically saying that first and foremost, it's a vote of no confidence from yourself to this panel? But second to that, is it a confirmation that indeed this panel, to a large extent, there were certain things that they did that was inconsistent with the process? Let me stop there before I confuse my sequence of questioning.
Is it the report? Because I'm trying to look for new. From this report, I don't see it.
Not Honorable Minister, it's on the statement that you had released when you were dealing with the withdrawal. The statement of the 16th of May 2025, withdrawal of recently appointed chairpersons of SETA boards with immediate effect. So my question is, are you confirming that indeed the panel that you had appointed previously to deal with the appointments of chairs that later created an unnecessary brouhaha in the country and created a platform for mushrooming politicians to twerk and jump in front of screens just for the purpose of social media likes? Did you get my question? Or you only focused on the latter statement of...
I'm looking at that member was jumping.
No, I did not. No, I did not say any member. No, Minister.
Point of order, Chair.
Yeah, Honorable Letsie.
I don't want to derail the House because this question that Honorable Kgabo is asking is very important about this secret panel. But I'll just ask you to please caution the Minister. Again, this is a very important process. We're not here for jokes. But let me not derail the House.
Yeah, no, thank you. Colleagues, let's concentrate. We do have people who are diabetic and we've not eaten. It's after 2. We don't want, I know my mother is diabetic. I know how bad it can be. So let's try and work towards getting to where we want to be so that we can eat. Food has been here. Honorable Kgabo, please ask the question again.
Honorable Minister, on the 16th of May 2025, you released your office from your, you released the media statement from your office. And the heading was the withdrawal of recently appointed chairpersons of SETA boards with immediate effect. In the very same statement, I'm saying, in the very same statement, you are indicating, I think it's paragraph number 4, I will also establish a new independent panel to process nominations and recommend candidates. So my question is it an admission that indeed this panel, there was something that they did not do right? That's why ultimately you had withdrawn. And that's why you are even going to appoint a new panel that is independent. Thank you very much.
Maybe one can say it's a maybe grammatic understanding or grammatic errors. But what the paragraph would meant to say is that the minister is going to constitute an independent panel that is going to process the nominations and recommend candidates. And this process will put emphasis on merits, competences, relevant experiences with balanced representation in terms of race, gender, youth, and persons with disabilities. I think it should be grammatic error, Honorable.
No, Honorable Minister, you know that grammatic error is costing your credibility in the public space. And whoever that conducted that grammatic error, I would plead with you. Because the interpretation from where I'm sitting is now like you are taking responsibility. Now, in fact, there's nothing wrong taking responsibility when you say that this panel was very useless. It had created problems for me. Because that is my view. Not that I undermine them. Let me give you a practical example. My closing remarks, Chairperson. There was one of the people that was presented by the panel that is expected to be above reproach. I think was candidate number 12. I can give you time. Re Mapulane. Re Mapulane. Re Mapulane. Re Mapulane la re go ya ka report wa lona mo lo re le rengwa dilo tse le di tlhokang ke gore motho a bana le masters ko pa ke tsare ka khona go ka ela tlhokane ha ke ne ke sheba ka mbo ke tsatsanka tokomane le re fileng re le ra le mo gore go ya ka tokomane ya lona la re Mapulane ha felletsa grata ya gage ya di masters ka mantswa mangwila dira paranyana hela the master's degree is not completed. That's what your report is saying. Number 12. When we leave this meeting, Honorable Minister, you must address the media, apologize to the people of South Africa, or this panel has misled you. We'll make sure that they take full responsibility and they are going to face the full might of the law with the powers vested in you as the minister. Go to candidate number 12. While you are checking on candidate number 12, Honorable Minister, maybe as part of my parting shot, Chair, will allow the Minister a while to check on that thing. As part of my parting shot, Chairperson, I would plead with the Honorable Minister when dealing with the appointment of the new panel that is supposed to be independent. As part of applying the principles of accountability, can we make sure that those people are vetted? Because now it has always been suspected that they are going to be biasness. But equally, Honorable Minister, it is our belief that in our decisions that we are taking, we must be able to demonstrate the geographical spread of this country. It cannot be that through and through, even in terms of budget allocation, would forever want to be biased to certain provinces and leaving out certain provinces. But equally, Honorable Minister, plead with that panel of yours, of which I'm suspecting that majority of them are old people of that panel. It cannot be that in the country where the dominant population is young people, you have got the majority or the entire list of chairpersons that are old people or above 50. It cannot be right. It cannot be accepted, and the argument that would be presented would be that young people have not applied. And I want to put it to you, whoever said that young people have not applied, that person is lying to you. That's why the credibility of that board is highly questionable. Because we can put it to you that young people who've got masters, who have qualified, not through bogus or unquestionable universities, who have qualified, who have got master's degree, have applied. But through systematic processes, because of these people, there is nothing that we can prove that they were not biased. They have managed to remove those people from that list. And I would like to plead with you, Honorable Minister, maybe as part of responding to my question, if you can just tell me, the annual financial statements must be submitted by tomorrow. And I've asked this question, what is going to happen? The DDG spoke of section 49 trying to threaten me, and he spoke of section 55. And I've taken him through to say that, can you say to me that, in fact, the DDG indicated in the last meeting that you wrote a letter instructing accounting authorities to take full responsibility of that process of submission. I don't know if I'm quoting you in verbatim.
As we close.
Yeah, as I close. I knew it is going to get to that point.
No, the time is long.
But we have always been allowing people to speak even if their time is over. And I'm going to plead with you. And
I've allowed you.
Yeah, it's always the case with you.
No, I've allowed. It's
I'm
been
going
4
to
minutes.
get to a point of now relegating to a level of Honorable Lonzi,
No
so that
problem.
I can also be respected.
It's been 4 minutes.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I think the issue of PFMA will be clarified as to what is it that we are going to do now that there must be submissions this weekend. And equally the issue that I've raised the Honorable Minister in terms of candidate number 12 that I've asked questions about.